Jesse's a good guy. We like him. He's been an excellent player. He fits with us. We were 2 years and trying to extend him, and we weren't able to get there. I expect Jessie to be here and play for us this year. That'll be something that we look forward to.
Mike Brown, owner of the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, the Bengals have a history, Chris, of applying the franchise tag to a guy, employing him under the franchise tag for a year, and then saying, see you later. That's it. And that's what's going to happen to Jessie Bates, because they already drafted his replacement. He got his replacement ready to go. And Dax Hill is going to make $11.9 million over 4 years combined. Jessie Bates is making $12.9 this year. And it's a good deal for the Bengals because it's well under the top of the market for the safety position. That's why they didn't work out a long-term deal. And also, the Bengals don't guarantee money beyond year one. They were willing to throw in $4 million more than what he was already due to make this year, guaranteed. And that's not good enough under the franchise tag. So Bates will play there one more year if he shows up, and then he'll become an unrestricted free agent next year, and Hill takes over. That's exactly the way to read what Mike Brown said.
I think so. Mike, if we go back to draft time, and had some more discussions, and we talk about Dax Hill from Michigan, who they drafted, the guy that he reminded me of and the guy I brought up a lot in podcasts was Jessie Bates. That was the guy that I had the comparison to. So when he got drafted there, I kind of had the same thoughts that you're referring to right now. I went, man, I don't know if that's a good thing for Jessie Bates. It's like the same type of player, the same type of skill set, which makes me think maybe they're replacing him. Again, now with this type of year, I would think Jessie Bates does come back and collects his money. But, yeah, I think with the way things look, the way Bengals do business, with some of the contracts that they have on the horizon that are awaiting them, that, yeah, this might be, one of those guys that falls by the wayside a little bit just because it's the price of doing business and they just can't keep everybody.
When you've already drafted his replacement. And this is the way it goes. And when you're going to have a great team with star players, you better be willing and able to let certain mid-level players walk away and be confident you can replace them with good drafting, because the rookie wage scale gives you that ability to swap out a guy who's going to make $12.9 this year for a guy who's going to make $11.9 over 4 years. That's what you have to be willing to do. And that's why you got to make good decisions in the draft, but you also have to be very resolute and firm in your willingness to say to Jessie Bates, we're going to let you go. The problem is they're keeping him around for that extra year. They're keeping Bates around for that 5th year at $12.9 when he would have made a hell of a lot more and gotten security beyond this season on the open market. Now he's got to make it through another season healthy and effective enough to become a highly paid player next year. And people have asked me, can they still trade him? They still could trade him, but whoever acquires him can't give him a multi-year deal. Right. They could offer him more than $12.9 million for this year, or they could say we're not going to apply the tag to you next year, whatever the case may be. But you can't sign him to a multi-year deal until after the season ends. So he's stuck, and he'll probably show up. Yeah, I saw that he doesn't plan to play under the franchise tag. Well, there are other things I don't plan to do that I'm ultimately going to do. At the end of the day, I think he's taking his $12.9. He'll put in one more year with the Bengals, and then he'll move on.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.